Hello again everybody and welcome back to the mat. My name is Marella. I invite you to take a good sitting position. Press down with your sit bones into the mat, stretch the sides of your body long, move your ears back, close your eyes, turn your attention inwards. Or you may keep your eyes open and just sit with a soft gaze a short distance in front of you. Bring your awareness to your breath. And as a way of grounding ourselves, we'll open with 3 ohms. Exhale, inhale, 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 Open your eyes, release your hands, and word of the day is pause. So when we take an in-breath, at the end of an in-breath, before it becomes your out-breath, there's a very slight pause, maybe less than half a second. And then as you breathe out, and as the breath turns again, become the in-breath, there's a pause at the other end of that breath. And when we look for the pauses at either end of the breath, there comes a place of quietness, of stillness, and particularly in a meditation practice, if you look for, as we breathe, the pause at each end of the breath. So we're going to try a little bit of that today, and then bring it on out into our practice. So how do we bring it into our practice? One, there's the obvious thing of breathing during the practice, but it's also when we initiate a pose, we do the pose, and then there's a pause just before we move into the next pose. So we have a pause at the end of one pose and a pause at the beginning of the next. And see if you can notice these pauses in the pose to invite stillness into your practice and into your life. So we'll start off with a meditation practice for 5 minutes. Take a comfortable position. You can sit cross-legged like me, or you can sit with your legs wide apart. Just however it feels comfortable for you today. You could sit with your back against the wall. We'll only be here 5 minutes. And I invite you to bring your attention to your breath. And again, if you wish, eyes open, with soft gaze, or eyes closed. And as you breathe in, visualize the breath traveling down into your heart and your solar plexus area here, just at the bottom of your rib cage. Look for a pause, and just as on the turn of the breath, exhale, visualize your breath traveling out, up through your chest, up through your neck, up through your skull, and out the top of your crown of your head. And about 6 or 8 inches above your crown is the turning point of your out breath. So, and if you visualize the breath moving up the body as you breathe out, and as you breathe in, the breath is moving down into your heart and your solar plexus. And then just see if you can bring a pause at either end of the in-breath and the out-breath. Just noticing the pause at either end of the breath. travelling down as you breathe in, breath travelling up to above the crown of your head as you breathe out. Focusing on your breath. No need to force anything, just in your own time, with your breath. Stillness, a place of peace, is always here. Your breath, pranayama, gives you access to it. Now gently bring your presence back into your room and onto the mat. So making our way into down dog, place your hands under your shoulders, lift your hips high, invite your heels to come towards the floor, externally rotate your upper arms, look at a point between your thumbs and come to your breath. Melt your heart, lift your hips even higher. You can continue that breathing practice we did earlier through the practice, noticing the pause of either end of the breath. And then release your knees to the floor and come all the way to your belly. Stretch your legs out, stretch your arms out. Coming into locust one, press the backs of your hands into the floor, press the top of your feet into the floor, squeeze your heels together. Inhale, lift your head and shoulders off the floor. Notice your breathing. And make your way into your hands and knees and come into cat-cow. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Exhale, round your back up. Inhale, lift your head, look up and sinking between your shoulder blades. Body following breath. Practicing your breathing that I taught you at the start of the class. Pausing at the end of the exhalation. Pausing at the end of the inhalation. Just for a half a second. And sit back in your heels and make your way into child's pose. Hips to heels, arms by your sides, turn your palms up, head to the floor, flare your toes. Become your breath. From here, make your way into down dog again. Lift your hips up, flare your fingers, grip the floor with your fingertips. Squeeze your inner shins, your inner thighs towards each other, externally rotate your upper arms. And float forward into plank, shoulders over wrists, lift your head, look up, heels over toes, engage your core, and just look out in front. Make your way onto your hands and knees and coming into tiger, right arm out in front, point palm in, left leg out behind, flex and point it, lift your gaze, shoulder over wrist. Hug the muscles to the bones. And switch to the other side, opposite arm, opposite leg, stretch it out. And release, and come onto your elbows, clasp your hands together, walk your knees back, turn your toes under, float your shoulders over your wrists, lift your head, look up. Heels over toes, heels vertical. And release, and come and sit up with your legs crossed. Press your sit bones into the floor. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, hinge forward, place your hands on the floor. And then lift your gaze, look out in front. Inhale, creep your hands forward, up on the tips of your fingers. And exhale, and bring your heart closer to the earth. Inhale, creeping forward again. Exhale, sinking even lower. And just go as far as is comfortable for you. Press your sit bones into the floor. Keep both feet active. Inhale back to centre. And cross your legs in the other way that you don't normally cross them. And do the same again. Inhale, lift your arms up. And exhale. Place your hands on the floor. Stay on your fingertips. Inhale, creep them forward. Exhale, melt your heart towards the floor. Inhale, creep forward. Exhale, melt. Press your sit bones into the floor. Keep both feet active. Inhale back to centre and come and make your way to standing. Moving into power pose. Clasp your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, and then bend your elbows and place your thumbs on your sacrum. Hands still clasped. Bend your knees, lower your hips, round your body, and bring your forehead to your knee. Lift your arms off your back. Sit back in your throne. More doable. Wrists apart. More difficult, wrists together. Inhale, press down, stand up, and make our way into crescent pose. Lift your arms overhead, clasp your hands together, interlace your fingers, point your index finger. Move your hips to the right, your torso to the left, be as sideways as possible. Square your hips to shoulders to the front of the mat, lift your chin. Be careful not to collapse into the side you're leaning into. Keep stretching your arms up, hug the muscles to the bones, move your arms into the back plane. Inhale back to centre and switch to the other side. Root down firmly, equally with both feet into the floor. Inhale back to centre, float your arms down, and moving into tree pose, shift your weight onto your left foot and place your right foot against your ankle, your shin or your upper inner thigh. Bring your hands to your heart, stay here. If you wish, lift them overhead, clasp them, interlace your fingers and point your index finger. Yogi's choice. Press foot into leg, leg into foot, move your knee out to the side. Stand tall. Enjoy the view from a tree. And release and switch to the other side. Shift your weight onto your right foot and lift your left foot and place it wherever is comfortable for you today. You can also stand against the wall and do this. Come back to your breathing. Moving into extended side angle. Inhale your arms up, bend your right knee, move your front knee out in line with your second toe, and then place your elbow on top of your knee. Lift your left arm over your ear and look up at your palm. Press down to your back foot into the floor. Engage your quad. Sink down even more if it's available. And press down and stand up and switch to the other side. Right foot in, left foot out. Bend your front knee, sink down, place your elbow, front knee over ankle. Press the outside edge of your back foot into the floor. Inhale your arm up, look up at your right palm. Keep moving your front knee out in line with your second toe. Press the outside edge of your back foot into the floor. Press down, stand up, pivot again, left foot in, right foot out, and coming into reverse warrior. Slide your back hand down your back leg, lift your right arm up, look up at your right palm, bend your front knee, sink down, move your front knee out in line with your second toe, press the outside edge of your back foot into the floor. Lift your head, look up, lift your chest up. Inhale, back to centre and switch to the other end. Right foot in, left foot out. Bend your front knee, sink down, front knee over ankle, slide back hand down back leg. Lift left arm up, look at palm. Press the outside edge of your back foot into the floor. Move your front knee out in line with your second toe. Release and step your feet together and walk to the back of your mat. Moving into high lunge, but place your hands on your hips. Take a step forward with your right foot, bend your front knee, sink down, lift your back heel up to vertical, lift the back of your back knee up, lift your chest, stretch your spine, lift your gaze, invite your shoulder blades onto your back. Sink down even more. Stretch your front knee away from your back ankle. Press down, stand up and switch to the back of the mat. Bend your left knee, knee over ankle. Lift your back heel off the floor, back heel up to vertical. Lift your chest, stretch your spine. Lift your gaze, look up. Lift the back of your back knee up. Stretch your front knee away from your back heel. Press down, stand up and step your feet together. Coming into forward fold. Inhale, lift your arms up. Standing feet hip width apart. Exhale, hinge forward, bend your knees, line up your fingernails with your toenails. Press the heel of your hands towards the floor. Float your hips forward. Press the backs of your knees away from you. Squeeze inner shins inner thighs towards each other. Allow your head to drop. Look back between your legs. Straighten your arms, hug the muscles to the bones. Walk your hands forward under your shoulders. Inhale, lift your head, look up. Exhale, hinge forward again. And do that 5 more times. Inhale, walk your hands forward under your shoulders. Breathe in. Breathe out. Fold forward. Breathe in. Breathe out. Fold in. Breathe in. Lift your head, look up. Breathe out. Fold in. Last time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Fold in. Come and make your way down onto the mat. I'm coming into twisted monkey. Step your right foot forward. Line up your right toes with the fingers of your left hand. And then walk your left hand forward towards the outside left hand edge of your mat. Reach back with your right hand. Bend your left knee. Bring your heel to your hip. Catch your ankle. Move your hips forward and down. Lift your head, look up. Broaden across your collarbones. And switch to the other side. Front foot back, left foot forward, catch your ankle with your left hand, walk your right hand out towards the side of your mat, move your hips forward and down, lift your chest, look up, move your head back. And release. And come and make your way down onto your belly. Arms by your sides, turn the side of your face to the floor and rest. Make your way to kneeling, knees hip width apart, tops of your feet on the floor, flare your toes and place your hands on your hips, squeeze your elbows back. Keep squeezing your inner shins, your inner thighs towards each other, feet on the floor, tops of feet on the floor, flare your toes, push your hips forward, engage your glutes, which are the big muscles here, and then lift your chest, look up, squeeze your elbows back behind you. Keep tightening your glutes, allow your head to drop, invite your shoulder blades onto your back, squeeze your elbows back, push your hips forward. Inhale and come back up. Step your right foot forward and in front of you. Place your hands on the floor on the inside of your front foot. Hands shoulder width apart. Stay here, more doable, more difficult, lift your back knee off the floor, yogi's choice. Drop your head, look back towards your back foot. Lower your knee to the floor and switch feet, front foot back, back foot forward. Place your hands. Either stay here, more doable, more difficult, turn your back toes under, lift your back knee off the floor. Back heel vertical over toes. Lower that knee to the floor and make your way to standing. Moving into nesting pigeon. Shift your weight onto your left hip, onto your left foot, and then bend your left knee, lift your right foot and place it across your left knee. Place your hands on your hips. Keeping that, sink down. Keep your back straight. Sink down by bending the knee. I forgot to add. Press down, stand up and switch to the other side. Shift your weight onto your right foot, lift your left foot and bring the ankle across your right knee. Bend your right knee and sink down. Be as upright as possible. Invite your shoulder blades onto your back, squeeze your elbows back behind you. And press down and stand up. Just feel how good that feels in your hips today. I'm coming into wide leg forward fold. No, not that even. Coming into Shirshasana, which is stretch your legs wide, then bend your left knee and bring your heel towards your upper inner thigh. And then roll your inner right thigh towards the sole of the left foot really. Turn out over your right leg. If you have a strap or a belt nearby, it might be a good time to get it, and you can use it to loop over the sole of your foot. So inhale, lift your arms up, exhale, hinge forward and reach for your foot. Gaze beyond your toes using a strap. And then press through your outstretched right heel, press the back of your right thigh into the floor. Come back to your breath. Inhale back to center and switch to the other side. Stretch your left leg out, bend your right knee and bring the sole of your foot one fist distance away from your upper inner thigh, and then roll your inner thigh towards the sole of your foot. You might want to lift your buttock out behind you. Turn out over your left leg. Inhale, reach up, exhale and catch the end of your foot or your shin or your knee, wherever that is for you if you're using a belt. And gaze softly beyond your outstretched toes. Push through your heel, draw your toes back, engage your core. And release. Make your way into bridge pose. Come and lie on your backs. And bend your knees and place your heels in front of your hips on the floor. If you have a block nearby, you might like to use it in bridge pose this evening. So lying on your back, bend your knees and then press down with your feet into the floor, feet hip width apart. Inhale, lift your hips up and In this case, we'll clasp our hands together, interlace our fingers. We'll be using the block in the next pose. Press your head into the floor, lift your chin out of your chest. Make sure your toes are pointed forward and not out towards the sides of your mat. Tighten your glutes, stretch through your knees, and if you can lift your hips 5% higher, now's the time to do it. And release your hands and roll down your spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. And just separate your feet and walk them out to the edges of the mat and allow your knees to come down to the left. So we're in double diamond. Make goalposts of your arms. Press the backs of your forearms into the floor, the backs of your knuckles. Turn your palms up and look away from your knees. Inhale, come back to center, moving back into bridge pose. This time feel free to use a block or place your arms by your sides, bend your elbows so that your fingers are pointing towards the ceiling, point palm towards each other, feet hip width apart, and then inhale, press down with your elbows into the floor, lift your hips up and see if you can catch your hips with your hands and support your hips with your hands. Walk your elbows in a little bit underneath you. Anyone that has a block, you can put in a block, you don't need to hold your hips with your hands. Stay here, more doable. More difficult, curl your right knee into your chest and stretch your right leg up. Push through your heel. And switch to the other leg. Curl your left knee in, stretch it up. Push up through the heel, hug the muscles to the bone. And bend your knee and lower your foot to the floor. And again, allow your spine to come down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Moving back into double diamond, walk your feet out to the long edges of the mat. And allow your knees to come down to the opposite side, to the right, I think. Place your arms in goalpost arms. Momentarily lift your head off the floor. Turn away from your knees, place your head back on the floor. And receive your breath, just sink down. So we've already had nesting pigeon standing up. We're going to return into it now. Bring your right knee into your chest and baby cradle your right foot with the crook of your left arm, your knee into the crook of your right arm, and bring your shin across your body. Press the back of your left heel away from you. Press the back of your thighs down. Press your lower back into the floor. Press your head into the floor. Press both sides of your lower back equally into the floor. And switch legs. Stretch your right leg out. Bend your left knee in and baby cradle the lower left leg. Sole of the foot into the crook of the right arm. Knee into the crook of the left arm. Press your right leg out. Press the back of the right thigh into the floor. Press down equally with both sides of your lower back. Press your head into the floor. Invite your shoulder blades onto your back. And gently release. Bring both knees into your chest and roll from side to side, recline child's pose. Going to check the time here. If you have a strap, it might be time to use it. So come and lie on your backs and loop the strap over the sole of your foot and stretch your right leg out. Right hand on the strap. Push up through your heel of your right leg, push through the heel of the left leg, engage the quads of both legs. You can also use just your hand on your foot. And then just draw the right leg towards you, but keep pressing the back of the knee away. Noticing the pause at either end of your breath. And now allow your right hand arm come out to the side, your right leg outside, and come over as far to the right as you can, but keep your left hip plugged into the floor. Stretch your left arm out, turn your palm up, and again lift your head, look away from your right leg. Engage the quad in both legs. You can bend your knee slightly, bring your leg back into center, stretch it up. And then inhale and lift your head and shoulders off the floor. Lift your left leg off the floor and stretch towards your left knee with your left hand, your palm on your thigh, and take 5 breaths. Draw your right leg towards you. And lower the left leg to the floor. Switch your hands on your right foot, on the right strap, and allow your right leg to come all the way across your body and bring it to the floor. Stretch your right arm out behind you, look behind you. Press through your right heel, press through your left heel, engage quads in both legs. Inhale, come back to center and switch the strap. Stretch your right leg out, curl your left knee in, loop your strap over the sole of your foot, stretch your leg up, and then press through your heel, press your left knee away from you, press through your right heel, press the back of your right thigh into the floor, and draw your whole left leg towards you, endeavouring to keep it straight. Engage your quads. And then switch your strap over onto your left hand and allow your left leg to come out to the left hand side. Left arm, left hand. And as far as your right hip is still on the floor, push through your right heel. back to centre. And lift your right leg off the floor, stretch down towards your right knee with your right hand, flex and point your right foot, and draw your left leg towards you, push up through your heel. Don't forget to breathe. Release to the floor, and then swap your hand on your left leg and come across your body. Push through your left heel, stretch your right arm out. And release your foot and make your way up to sitting. Stretch your left leg out, bend your right knee, and lift your right foot and bring it to the outside of your left knee. Right hand on the floor behind you. Lift your left arm up, cross your body and bring it to the outside of your right knee. Press elbow into knee, knee into elbow. Draw right shoulder back, right ribs back, and look back behind you. Press down with your sit bones into the floor, be as upright as possible. Push through your left heel, press the back of your left thigh into the floor. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale and twist. And release and switch to the other side. Stretch your right leg out, bend your left knee, cross it over your right leg. Place your left hand on the floor, lift your right arm up, and then cross your body and bring your outside of your elbow to the outside of your knee. Press elbow into knee, knee into elbow. Draw left shoulder back, left ribs back, and look back behind you. Be as upright as possible. Press through the extended leg. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale and twist. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale and twist. And release. Come lie down on your back again and come in to thread the needle. Bend your knees. Place your heels on the ground in front of your hips. Lift your right foot and place it on the outside edge of your left knee. Stay here and then bring your arms in goalpost arms. And when you have your shoulders on your back, then roll over onto your left hip so that your left knee comes to the floor, the sole of your right foot comes to the floor. Keeping that, lift your head off the floor and look away from your knees, look back towards your right. Inhale back to centre and place both feet on the floor, and then lift your left foot, bring the outside edge of your left foot on top of your right knee, and then keeping that, roll over onto your right hip, bring the left sole of your foot to the floor and lift your head off the floor and look away from your knees. Inhale, come back to centre, bring both feet to the floor And make your way into happy baby. Bring both knees into your chest. Clasp the outside edges of both feet with your hands, shins vertical. Separate your knees wider than your shoulders, your feet wider than your shoulders. Press your lower back into the floor. Draw down on the soles of your feet and then push up with the soles of your feet into your hands. Shins vertical. And then heels together, knees together, stretch your feet up. Press the backs of your knees up towards the ceiling. Invite your toes to come down towards your head. More doable. Ankles inner hip width apart. More difficult. Ankles together. Keep both feet active. Soften your elbows. Bring both knees into your chest and give yourself the most delicious, comforting hug as a final pose in this evening sequence. And now make your way into relaxation. If you have a blanket, now's the time to get it. If you have an eye pillow, stretch arms out, stretch legs out, feet hip width apart, turn palms up, shoulder blades on back. Receive your breath and sink into the floor. Begin to deepen your breathing. Bring your attention to your body. Start to awaken your body by moving your hands, your feet. Perhaps give yourself a stretch. You can stay here or bend your knees, roll to one side and pause before making your way to sitting. To close our practice this evening, we bring our hands to our heart. Close your eyes and turn in one last time to honour ourselves, each other, the practice. We close with one arm. Exhale, inhale. Thanks for practicing. Thanks for coming to practice. See you on the mat.